Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. And my name is Freddie, and we're going to be interviewing right now Valerie Witherspoon. I'm just going to wait for her to connect. And yeah. Meanwhile, how's everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody is staying safe and virus free. Yeah, hopefully you guys are going back to work. I hear everything is opening up here in Vegas, all the casinos and restaurants. So yeah, there she is. There she is. So now I'm gonna add her. Let's see.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Should I turn my phone like this? I can do this.
Yeah. How are you?
Great. How are you? How's your quarantine?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. I'm loving it. I would never in my life thought that I was gonna have like a 3 month or more vacation.
I know. I'm kind of loving it too. It's nice to take a break when everything's so fast all the time.
Yes. The unfortunate part about this is that I'm not making money. I'm not getting unemployment or anything. But other than that,
No.
like, it's amazing. Like I'm just home or, just maybe traveling here and there, a day or
Did
two
it
to
not come through?
California.
Did it
Yeah.
not come through, or are you waiting on it?
I'm still waiting on it. I filled it out wrong, and then
Oof. I'm
yeah,
sorry. So you'll get it eventually.
hopefully,
Hopefully.
hopefully. I know it's not just me. I hear it's like thousands, or not even thousands, like even millions of people. Like,
In Nevada, they said like in one of the press conferences, he said that something like over 400,000 people have applied, and he was like, and over 200,000 are receiving payments. And I was like, that's a lot of thousands of people to not be getting payments, but they said it in like a good way. And I was so, yeah, there's some issues.
yeah. How about you? What have you been doing, and how's your quarantine?
Quarantine's been going well. I had been very busy for like the year leading up to it, so I at first I was like kind of depressed and I was like, I don't understand. I don't like it. And now I'm like, this is the best. I'm home at
I
night.
know.
I turned my backyard into a disco. Look at all these lights I hung up. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, just like
Awesome.
painting, working, try keeping myself busy, but I like it a little slower. I have to be real.
Yes, it's nice. It's really nice. Um, and it's just not working. Well, I don't know if you consider like your job like an actual job because it seems so easy. I wish I don't know how it is, but it seems so easy, you know?
Thanks.
Um, but yeah, like it's crazy what's going on. And just everything's what's going on like with the riots or the protesting, whatever you want to call it.
Yep,
One
I was
thing
at one on Wednesday. Wednesday, I was at one. They're interesting. They're amazing. And we're not even the ones that are like big enough to be on TV. Like,
Yeah. Where did you go? Downtown or something?
yeah, we did downtown. They marched from the courthouse to like where the lady statues are, the lady showgirl statues and back. So it was like 6 miles and it was great. It was like there was like a lot of support from the community and there was a lot of it was really nice. It was good. And I can see how they get out of hand quickly. Like one guy showed up and started screaming all lives matter, like,
Oh
classic
my God.
philosopher. And yeah, he and people like surrounded him and then he was gone. And I was like, "Oh my God, like thank God he like ran away because like yeah, like I can see where a fight breaks out. I can see where something goes terribly wrong. Like, you're so angry. You're angry enough to go to a protest during a pandemic. So it's
You're
a
definitely angry,
it's a
right?
powder keg. Yeah, like the whole country's a powder keg right now. It's
It's
interesting.
so crazy and it's so sad to see how everything's going because I just worry about the future of the kids, of the younger generation.
Well,
Not even
hopefully it'll be made
5 years.
better for them by this. You know,
Yeah,
they don't want to grow up in the same with the same type of issues that we've been facing the same way as, hundreds of years ago they were protesting so that our lives would be easier than theirs or better or more fair. So hopefully it's in the
exactly.
room.
Hopefully everything just gets better and then back to normal. Do you think everything's
Yeah.
going back to normal after this coronavirus and
I
everything?
mean, I don't know how it can. I see these full casinos and I get like hives. I don't understand. I mean, I'm sure it will, but it doesn't feel like it's gone. We just feels like we were like, okay, we're not doing it anymore, and so we're going back, and that's great. But the shows don't run without tourists. So if the country gets scared, or if the world is scared, then the casinos are what goes. Vegas is going to be hit hardest. So
Hard. Yes.
I don't know. Our show has like the show I'm in, Friends. Like it has kissing, it has touching, it has audience interaction. Like I don't know how. I don't know what the plan will be when we come back.
Oh, and it seems such a fun show.
Oh yeah, it's a great show. It's really fun. I mean, we'll be back. They've been pretty vocal with us and in good communication, but it's just what will have to change and what will be different. Like at La Rev, they're talking about having everybody in the show wear masks, um, and different things they can do to like keep social distancing and have the show, which is
Yeah,
great for a show like La Rev. But how do we do it? I don't know.
right. And
Fist bumps.
where's friends at?
It's at the Paris.
At the Paris. Okay.
Yes. So that is, we opened March 9th. We went to the new location March 9th. So we did like 6 shows and then closed because of
Oh
the,
no.
yeah. Well, at least we got a couple days in. We have 2 shows on Saturday. And I was like, just let us get through Saturday. Let us get through Saturday. And then we closed on Sunday. All the shows went dark. And I was like, all right, all right. We got through Saturday.
Yeah. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Do you know when you're going back?
Yeah. They haven't told us. I guess there's not a really good communication with like management and like the presidents or yeah, like within the management
Mm,
and presidents. There's like I guess not communication and we don't know anything. They haven't told us anything.
wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, just guess. Just go in one day and be like,
Right?
today's
Hopefully, we won't go in another like 2 more months. I want at least another month of vacation.
Yeah, it's an interesting change of pace from the people. Vegas is such a gig economy place and such a place where people work so hard and so many hours and so many different jobs, and it's been really interesting to just stop. So,
Definitely, it is. Um, let's start with the interview. We interviewed before, but last time
was it too like
liked
loud?
like the scenario, like the background, and I was just like starting, with this, and like now I have the lights and I have like better technology, and
And I'm sitting
so
in my backyard.
I'm right here in my backyard too, but I have like a backdrop now, and
Yeah, that's fancy. That's very high tech.
I I kind of want to make it that
You're
way.
going next level. Perfect.
um, yeah. So where were you born?
Youngstown, Ohio, but then we moved to Buffalo, New York, like when I was like a month or two old.
Okay, and you grew up there.
Yeah, New York until I was like 10, and then back to Ohio, a town in between Hudson. It's Hudson, Ohio, right in between Akron and Cleveland. LeBron James
Mm,
Nation, basically. I was right by him. And then moved to New York City after college, and then Florida with my husband. And then he didn't like Florida, so we came to Vegas because he's a poker player. So he wanted to be near a casino.
oh, really?
And Vegas, yeah. Now he's playing online, but yeah.
I heard like that's gonna be like the new thing now with the coronavirus and stuff, like playing online.
Well, playing online used to be all that they did, and then online got shut down just in America. Like the rest of the world still plays online poker with each other. America just got shut down, so it's been slowly coming back. Now it's in Nevada and New Jersey, so he can play people in like New Jersey.
Oh
But
shit!
it's better than nothing, because he can't get unemployment. Like, for being a guy who walks into a casino and gambles, it's not quite like that. So
That would be nice though.
that would be nice. He was like, "Can I help?"
And what part of Florida did you move to?
We lived in Lakeland, right in between Tampa and Orlando, because I was working at Universal Studios and
Oh,
at the Strat Center. So I would drive either like 45 minutes either direction, depending on where I was working that day.
what did you do in Universal?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
how fun! It seems
It
like
was so bad. They had a prosthetic, but I remember in the audition constantly being like I can do the face, but like that's not. They literally we'd have 2 hours of makeup every morning, which was so amazing. It was like such a great way to wake up because like you go into work and you're never like your best the first couple hours. So I would just like sit in a chair and they'd glue it to your face, and you'd have straws going in your nose so that you could still breathe if you like. And then they'd be gluing, airbrushing you. They were amazing. It looked so cool. So
so cool.
yeah, it was very fun.
Awesome. And like, at what age did you move here to Vegas?
God, when was it? 5 years ago? It'll be 5 years in Thanksgiving. At Thanksgiving, because I came
Oh,
around Thanksgiving.
that's a good way to avoid the age.
Oh,
Saying
I
your
don't
age.
care.
No, it's like,
32. I have thought about that though. I'm like, this is kind of an ageist town. Like, at what point should I start not telling people my age anymore? I'm 32 right now.
I know,
And
right?
people were
Like,
like, you should have already stopped. And I was like, how? Because they were like, they can just look at your Facebook and find it. But like, I don't. Somebody just teach me about Botox in a couple years. Just like send it eventually.
oh my God.
Hard hitting.
Yeah, I noticed that though. This town is like very like sensitive with age. I've asked that before, and they're like, I don't want to see my age like many
Yeah,
times.
I don't think like in the world people like answering that question just because when it can be used against you. I have a friend who just always say like, "How old do you think I am?" Um, but I mean, I don't care, but I'm also not yet to an age where it would become a discrimination thing. I probably got 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know when it starts.
Right. You know what? You have a point. I guess that's why people don't want to say their age because
Yeah,
it would be like a discrimination, right?
yeah. They want
The
to come up in an
jobs.
audition of being, she turned 40. How long can we keep her in the show, sort of thing. That's what I worry about. Is that somebody will be like, oh, she's older than so and so, so and so. We could have her in the show for 10 years.
Oh,
That's my fear.
so no wonder they don't want to say their age. Okay.
Maybe in the world, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Interesting.
more you know. Yeah. We're just learning and growing all over the place.
And describe your childhood.
My childhood? Oh gosh, I barely remember it. I was talking to my husband today about what if I was a time traveler and I went back and I tried to remember like the things to be like, hey, bet on this like World Series, but like I couldn't remember them because like I remember so little. So I'd be like, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna bet. Um, Yeah, my childhood, I don't know. I have a brother and sister. I'm the oldest and real protective, and they're wonderful. I mean, it was kind of like a theater nerd. I was like the kid that like didn't eat lunch in the cafeteria. I ate lunch in the choir director's room so that I could like help her make posters and programs and fix the costumes for the shows. I was like a theater nerd, but I just really liked it. It made me happy. So I don't know. It was a theater, I did like all the shows in like different towns. I would drive around to do community theater, stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's like your thing, like that's like one of your main things, huh? Today.
Yeah, theater's always been my passion. It's just I think it's where like I just happened to find people that were like me, that were weird like me. And so even without liking singing, which I really do, it was where I was like, "Oh my God, my people, they're so weird. How fun." It's like that.
Right? It's great. It's a great feeling when you find people like yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. And
And
singing's fun.
yeah. Um, what is one bad thing that you remember that you did in your childhood? Like the words.
Oh, it's not like I'm sure I did worse because like kids are monsters and I'm sure I was a monster and it's hard when like all you have are your thoughts of what you want and you're a kid. But I remember my mom bought me this big Beauty and the Beast Belle cake. Like it looked like Belle in her like big yellow dress. And I kept sneaking downstairs and sticking my thumb in and eating just a little bit of frosting. And after a while I was like, fuck, that is a hole. Like that cake is missing. So I cried and I went and told her that Bill had eaten it, my younger brother, who,
Oh
like, I don't even know how old he was, but she went and yelled at him. And then I got caught because I went back and ate more cake because I was like, well, if he's going to get yelled at, I might as well have some more cake. So even though I got him in trouble, and then she saw me and she was like, what the shit? And so I was in trouble for like my whole birthday. And I remember feeling like a total asshole. And yeah,
oh
that
my
was,
God.
I remember being bad. My poor brother. Like, I just didn't, just an asshole kid. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. And you said you're the oldest?
Yep, I'm the oldest. My brother's 2 years younger than me, and then my sister's 4 years younger than me. So 30 and 28.
Oh my gosh. You said you're 30?
No, I said third. My
Oh,
brother's 30 then, and my sister's 28, or around there. My brother's birthday's coming up, I believe. My sister's birthday. One of them's been being born soon.
how does it feel to be like the oldest? Like,
I'm real protective of them. My brother lived with me in college his first year before he lives in Japan now. He's getting his doctorate in Japan. He's like a world traveler guy. He's really good at languages.
that's
And they're just my like great friends. Like I just like them a lot. My sister's like the sweetest thing, and so nice. One of those people that like wouldn't tell you your hair was on fire because she doesn't want to like make you uncomfortable. Like she's like, oh, that's fine. She's just so nice. Yeah, I'm just real protective of them. We get along really well. I got good siblings.
mm, I'm the oldest too, but I hated like I always wanted a bigger brother that I can
Oh
like
yeah.
on. And then I just hate like when my parents are like, "You're the oldest, and you have to set the example." I'm like,
Yeah, I always felt like I didn't know how to do things. Like I remember shaving my legs for the first time, and it literally was like peeling a potato. Like the skin went through the razor because I was pressing so hard.
"Oh,
And I was like, my sister never had to deal with this shit. Like I taught her how to do it. Like I just like didn't know what I was doing. Whereas like I could always talk to my sister. But there's perks of all age groups. I got away with some shit that my siblings didn't because they were like, Val told that. You're not doing that. Those
right?"
are some bad.
Oh yeah, same here. Like I wish I would have had a bigger brother that would have taught me or would have told me all the things that you have to go through.
Yeah,
But oh well, you live and learn, I
yeah.
guess. um, what kind of grades did you have in school?
I do not remember. I know so my school did this weird thing where like a 94 was an A and then like an 88 was a B. Like it wasn't like the 90 to 100 was an A. Um, and so our grade, like the classic system and the system, I don't remember at all. I mean, I think that means B's, right? If you don't remember, you probably had B's because like C, you're like, oh, I'm in danger of failing this, and then A should be like, what's the best? But I don't remember at all. I mean, yeah, probably B's.
Well, good. These are great. I
That's what I assume I have,
really
though. I
passed
don't know.
with a D.
The
All
D
my
versus
classes.
B, I don't know.
That's pretty awesome. And what were like some of your favorite singers growing up, or your favorite songs,
Ooh,
genres?
I was Ben Folds, and he's still basically the only music I listen to. Like I'm not a in the car I'll listen to Howard Stern. I don't listen to a ton of music. Ben Folds, Jason Mraz, Rob Thomas. They were like I like the boy piano singers, it seems, or like the acoustic-y singers.
Oh,
Ben Folds is like I've seen him in concert twice here in Vegas, and I don't really go to concerts. Those are the only two concerts I've been to. And he's my favorite.
awesome.
You heard Ben Folds? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I have no clue to be honest. I have to be honest. I have
He's
no
not like that
clue who he
famous, but
said.
if you heard him, you'd know him. But yeah.
Mm, I only know Vicente Fernandez and Paulina Rubio.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Which you don't know probably.
No. Though, growing up,
uh,
I watched Selena like every day growing up. That was like my movie that I was obsessed with that movie.
oh, Selena,
So
I love
I can do a
Selena.
lot of Selena's music. Which
Really?
that's about it. Yeah. Selena and Ben
Oh,
Folds.
that's
Oh my
pretty
God, I just love that movie.
awesome.
Loved that
That is
movie.
pretty awesome.
Remember
Yeah.
you wrote me on her anniversary.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dying.
yeah.
Yeah. Did Yolanda get out of jail yet? I don't think
No,
so.
she's about to. I heard in 3 or 4 years.
That's probably long enough. Yeah. Whenever I see she's getting out, I'm like, she can't get out yet. And then I'm like, no, that's a long time. Maybe she's learned her lesson. Maybe she's a better human now.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with like the story. She's saying that she didn't do it, that she didn't. Yeah, that she
Who
didn't
did
kill
it?
her. Yeah, she did, definitely did.
No,
But
but
she,
who
now
is she
she's
saying
saying
did
that
it?
she's not, that she didn't.
I'll have to look into that. Because, like, I mean, in the movie, she, like, calls and confesses. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's not a documentary, but, like, I don't know, seems like she did it.
Right? Yeah, like
Wow.
she said it, and like now she's like, she said, I'll try to send you some links where she gives
Yeah.
like English interviews. But she's saying that throughout the years she's been in jail, she's been learning uh, like law, like the she's been going, I guess, to law school or whatever. Like she's been learning how to be like a lawyer, and
Okay.
she's gonna she's gonna now. I don't know when she's gonna go to like, or she's gonna petition for like a trial for her to defend herself and prove herself innocent because she has supposedly all these secrets or whatever that will make her prove innocent.
Whoa.
Supposedly, I don't know. That's what
That's
she said.
crazy.
I don't know if
I'm
she
gonna, yeah, please send
got
me
proof.
that because that's nuts. Well, that makes me, I mean, like, what if she didn't kill her and she's just like one of the greatest villains in our country? And
Yeah,
then, like, that would be terrible.
right.
But it seems like she killed her. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean,
Wow.
they showed videos of like actual footage when she was like in the truck, uh, holding the pistol in her head and
Yeah.
crying. Like those are actual footage of, I guess, what they took, but I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yep. Send me
crazy.
that.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
send
gonna
you.
do a deep dive on Yolanda Salvador tonight.
Yeah,
Wow.
right. Yeah, they're saying she's saying now. I guess that they're really. I guess they had like a lesbian relationship or something like that. Her and Selena.
Salina.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, get it, get it, girl. Okay. Well, that's an
Yeah.
interesting plot twist. Maybe
Right.
that'll be in the movie Selena too. This time it's personal.
Oh, they're taking out a Selena Netflix thing movie. No, like series.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I was joking
Yeah, like,
about Selena too.
like a new series. I'll send you a link as well.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing a very deep dive. I'm gonna get in it on Selena. I love that movie.
Oh, me too.
Oops, loud car coming by. Some man's got a big dick. There he goes. All right.
Yeah. Also, what were your like your favorite cartoons growing up, or your TV shows, or
I didn't have cable, so like I watched the same shit every day, like Boy Meets World, Sister Sister, Friends, Recess. But I didn't have cable, so the movie Swan Princess I watched a lot. Um, but I didn't have like the Nickelodeon like Ren and Stimpy and like Rugrats and all that cool shit. We had that free TV. So,
same here, same
yep.
here. And I just remember I was watching like Star Trek, Star Trek Voyager. That was till today's like my favorite, and just the typical Mexican soap operas and just
I remember those
dramatic.
like we had that channel. I don't speak Spanish, but I was like, oh, okay. Makes sense.
Moving on, you go to college, which I think you
I
did
did. I went to college in Ohio.
in Ohio.
Um, very small little town. It's only well known for this like cheerleading fail. We were on Tosh Point oh for this cheerleading fail where like a whole pyramid came like crashing down and people's, fists are in their face and they're all so that's what we're known for. Ohio Northern.
And this was how many hours away from your mom and dad?
Oh, like 3 hours? Like I lived in the dorms, but I wasn't far enough. Like I could go home on a weekend if I wanted to.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
I
was it
didn't
like
really know how to
moving
pick a
out?
college. What'd you say?
How was it like moving out?
Now, I mean, I really miss my family, but my brother's in Japan, my sister's in North Carolina, my dad's in Ohio, so like we're all spread out. Um, Ohio just wasn't an option. There's no theater. You can't make a living as a performer. So it was going to be like New York, Florida, Chicago, or here. I think were the options we came up with. So
Thank
I like
you.
this one because it's 100 degrees. This is beautiful.
Right?
Yep.
So I guess like you're really happy that you chose Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, at first I wasn't because Florida's got a great theater scene and it was really fun. And my husband just didn't like it there. And we moved out here and I had a hard time. Like Vegas is hard to figure out how to get jobs. It's just hard to, like, the auditions aren't always listed. You don't always know what they want. Sometimes shows are running and they audition and they're not actually hiring. They're just looking. So it's a confusing town. Whereas in Florida, they'd be like, we're doing a Vita for 3 weeks. And you'd be like, cool, I'm auditioning. Like it was different because you knew all the jobs were open and it was theater. It was what I was more used to. But now that we're here, Vegas is a great place to have a lot of different jobs and to really hustle. And once you kind of figure it out, it's a really nice town. So yeah, I'm very happy we're here. We got
Good,
some
good.
dogs. I got a disco backyard. Look at that disco. Marla.
Oh,
Hi.
hey.
Hi, Marla. Hi, girl. So,
What
that's
did you
my poodle.
what did you study in college?
Musical theater.
Musical theater.
Yeah, so I'm trained for no real jobs.
Like our parents would say, right? Like our parents normally want us to go to college for like a doctor.
Yeah. My dad was really supportive. He was like I remember running into like a choir teacher at like a Denny's and he was like, people who go after their dreams don't usually regret it. And I never even thought about not doing theater. Like I always thought I would. And then when I graduated, I was like, "Holy crap, I have student loan debt and I don't know what I'm doing and like it's very hard to work." And I luckily I'd never even considered like I didn't think about that. I just thought like, "Oh yeah, I'm going for theater. I like theater, so here I go." It's weird the way my brain never even processed that like this might be a bad decision.
Oh gosh. Did you have to take like math for theater and all that?
Like one
Bro?
like your general education, like you'd have to take like one science class, one math class, one
Oh,
English class, but like most of the time I was taking acting, dancing, and singing classes.
nothing too like uh I guess smarts or how do you say like
Yeah, nothing like heavy, like high
yeah.
level, like statistics or, chemistry or anything like that. I mean, I could have, but you just had to pick, like, I had to take one language class. I could have said, like, neat, let's learn Mandarin, but, like, I didn't. Same with,
That would be
science
weird,
class.
right?
What'd you
You have
say?
to take like chemistry or like one of these big classes for like musical theater.
Yeah, I mean, I could have. I didn't. I was a college student. I was like, oh, you mean I can take earth science and sleep in? Sounds good. Like, earth science it is. So
Right?
I learned about, like, flowers blooming and shit like that. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And what is one of the craziest things you've done um I guess like during your college era?
Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said. You
So
cut
like
out a little on me.
what's one of the craziest things you've done in your like college or high
Craziest?
school, era?
I'm not that crazy. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just such a like theater nerd. Did I do anything crazy?
Ditch school, go to a
Oh,
club.
I was in, you know what I was? I was in like every club, so like if I skipped a class, nobody wrote my name down. And one day I slept through school. Like I woke up at 3 p.m. and was like, Oh no. And nobody had written down my name. Nobody called my parents. Nobody wondered where I was. They were just like, "Oh, she's doing something," because I was in like show choir and stuff. But no, like I'm not crazy. I'm such an indoor kid. My college had one bar. It was called The Bar. It was on Main Street. Like there was no club. There was no like we had like house parties. We like sat around and drank Arbor Mist. I don't have any good stories.
So even though you did want to go, even though you did want to go to like a club underage, you didn't have that option because you didn't have like a nightclub or in your
Yeah,
town.
we had nothing. But I was fine with that. I don't like loud noises. I'm kind of an indoor kid. I was like, all right, I can stay home and drink this fruit wine, this wine product.
Right? Which is amazing. I love the like what did you call those?
Arbor Mist.
Yeah, those are
They
great.
were so good. Those were so good. I remember like I would drink, they'd be like, what do you want? I'd be like the pink one. Like I was a wine
Ah,
connoisseur. I'd like the
so
pink
good.
Arbor Mist, please. Yep. Pretty classy. Pretty classy.
um, you're married, you said, right?
Yep. Yesterday was our 11-year anniversary of dating. So we've been married 5 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Crazy, right?
Crazy, crazy. How's the marriage life?
It's fun. It's been interesting because quarantine, everybody feels like more of how they feel. Like,
Yeah,
if you hate your husband, you hate him a lot more spending like 12 hours a day with him every day for 3 months. But like we're having a really good time. It's nice to be able to spend time together because he is a poker player, so he'll go in and he'll play until, 4 a.m. And by the time he gets home, I'm asleep and then he sleeps in and then I go off to work. So like, we spend time together, but like not like this. We've been spending a lot of time together and it's just been really nice. Yeah, I like him. 5 stars, would recommend. Marry Kyle.
Just in case you get a divorce, you do recommend them to the next
Yeah,
girl.
I'll update my Yelp review if I need to, if he starts acting up. But yeah, so far so good.
That's funny. Um, what are some goals that you have at this point that you need to
Well, I wrote a show that went on tour right before quarantine. They actually landed in Ohio to start their tour, and then their quarantine was set. Their state of emergency was declared as they landed, so they didn't get to do the show. They were shipped back to their homes in New York and Vegas.
wow?
And so to get that back out there and to write more, and I guess I want to keep some of this. I want to be able to keep calm. I think before the quarantine started, I was really stressed and I really let work drive my life, and I want to take some of that back because you only get so much time and I don't need to spend it being a monster because I'm stressed. So that's kind of been my takeaway and new goal from this time.
For this time.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So you said you wrote a show.
Yeah, I wrote a Sex and the City parody. It was actually kind of Sue Lynn's idea. I was out having a drink with Sue Lynn and she was like, there needs to be a Sex and the City parody. And I was like, yeah, there should. And I Googled it just seeing if it existed and it didn't. And I was like, oh God. And I wrote it really fast, like I was racing a ghost or something. Like I was just certain somebody else would think of it. So yeah, it's a musical parody of Sex and the City.
That's awesome. And you found somebody that would produce it and all that.
I lucked out. I asked this guy who had written Cuff Me, which was a 50 Shades parody. I was like, hey, you wrote a show. How did you pitch it to producers? I wrote this Sex and the City show. And he was like, oh my God, I had a company ask me to write Sex and the City, the musical for them. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, you do it. And he was like, no, I've never seen Sex and the City. I told them no, but I'll hook you up with them. And I was like, okay. So they read it and they were like, who else has seen it? And I was like, just one other producer I was talking to. And they were like, we'll do it. And I was like, okay. And so I had a contract. It was one of those like dreams. I just happened to talk to like the right guy. And he was like, yep, here you go. And it's off and rolling now. So,
That's
whee!
awesome. So now you can even call yourself like a what, like a director, kind of
Like a writer. I would
like a
say, yeah, I
writer,
didn't direct it. They brought in a director from New York. Yeah, like an author, I guess. I don't want to say author
the
because that
author.
sounds like prestigious. Like I didn't write a book. I wrote dick jokes. So maybe just writer. I don't know.
Hey, that's still pretty awesome. That's
Yeah, it's
not
it's
including
really
your
fun that it happened.
listening.
Yeah, it's just nice and it's like something that I care about and ended up being passionate about and could do myself. Like, with shows you need to make a show. You need somebody's permission to go do the show. Whereas this I was like, I can go home and write and love it. So that was nice.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Piece of cake for you.
maybe. I love dick jokes, so they did come kind of naturally.
Tell me one.
Okay, so when Carrie dates Burger, she dates on the show a guy named Burger, and she keeps talking about sex with Burger, and Samantha goes, "Oh," and so it takes them a while to get good at sex. At first, they're not good at it, and she goes, "Yeah, it took us a week or two, but after a while, we got the hang of it." And Samantha goes, "Oh, so week-old meat is better. I've been shoving fresh quarter pounders up my pussy like an amateur, and I don't know why, but it just makes me giggle." And I just the idea of her not understanding and trying to have sex with a cheeseburger. And keep becoming, and now everyone's like, "We're not going to that show." But just puns. Like that show was full of like stupid puns. Like it was a '90s show. It was just like one of those feel goods, like, oh, talk about a happy meal. Like it was one of those like we love a pun show. So it's really fun. I like it a lot.
That's funny. What is
Yeah.
what is the one of the accomplishments you accomplished that you're most proud of?
Well, that's definitely one. I mean, I think that's like the hardest I've worked on anything. I worked on it like all day, every day. Like I wrote the music and like found people to write the piano parts and like constantly rewriting. I didn't know that there were going to be producers, so I'd like started getting all the costumes and designing the posters and shit. Like I went a little nuts. I bought a website. People were like, "You should chill. You don't need this yet." And I was like, "I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to do it." Like I had puppets made at one point. I was like gonna do it. So I think that's like my proudest thing. Yeah, I mean that's got to be. That just took so much. I worked on it like I think I came up with it in May. So like every day for like 10 months, I just worked, and that was it was a lot of work, but I like how it's come out. So that I guess.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
um, are you proud of who you are now today?
Yes, I've been thinking a lot about that because of the Black Lives Matter movement and kind of like trying to be an ally and trying to figure out how to be an ally. And in doing that, you realize, or I've realized, things that I've said and done incorrectly that have been so hurtful. And when I read, like, when you say this is how you like marginalize this community. And I cringe because I'm like, oh, fuck, I did that. And so there's a lot of talk about like how to apologize and how to move forward and how to be a better ally. And I think that part of that is forgiving yourself and being like, okay, but you're here now, you're at the party, move forward, be a good ally. So it's learning that like, oh, stuff you did was not okay, and moving forward, you'll be better. So I think I can be proud of taking that step and like I'm proud of being a person who's always trying to be better. But there are some things where you're like, I'm a real monster. Look at me making these stupid dick jokes. Like,
Oh
so,
no.
there's, so yeah, there's some of that. I feel like the whole country's in a really weird place where everyone's trying to decide who they are right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Oof.
And
So,
going on to your yeah, your career. You've been in musical theater, and
mhm.
you're also like a singer, like a singer.
Yeah, coming to Vegas, I kind of had to learn to do that, like to do the shows like fantasy, to
You're like a performer.
because yeah, because musical theater it has that, but like I really do like hosting. I like being able to talk to the audience and being just a dummy and walking up to people and saying, "How you doing?" and stuff like that. So yeah, I do both now.
You do both now. I stopped. You stopped coming to fantasy. Is it because you have a new show?
No, I don't. I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but Friends was at the same time as Fantasy. So Friends was at like 8:30 and I would get out at 10:30 and Fantasy started at 10:30. So I was getting called to do Fantasy, but I was in Friends and couldn't do it. And so I became like yeah, it's hard. You can't time travel. Is the basic gist of it. Is if there's ever traffic, you would ruin the show. And so that was,
Oh yeah.
you know, a liability of absolutely. But I mean, I loved fantasy, so I miss the ladies.
Were they nice? Were they nice to you?
Oh yeah, they're all nice. They're like wonderful, wonderful people. Like you should sell tickets. I mean, you shouldn't, but you should sell tickets to stand backstage and talk to them. It'd be weird, so don't do that. But no, they're awesome. They're all great people. So
Because
it's fun to have a girl club. Like it's fun to have a group of ladies that are like it's like being a sorority, which I never was. It was like, hi, a bunch of fun girls. What are we doing tonight?
right.
Singing again? Okay. So yeah, no, it was fun.
That's pretty awesome because they seem so like mean and rude. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just
I
kidding.
was like, why? Oh my God. No, I mean, they're all amazing. They're so sweet. Like, they
Yeah.
seem so mean. Oh.
Uh, and what do you like better, singing and having like the actual spotlight on you, or do you like enjoying the musical theater better, or
Uh, I think I like interacting with people, which can sometimes be both. But musical theater, you have that like making a laugh, making a connection. Like I am a musical theater person, but I can create those musical theater moments in shows like fantasy. So, there were I I like all of it. I like variety. That's why I like it at Friends. I play all the characters, so I'm there every night, but I switch which roles I play based on people's days off because we do shows every night. And so that to me is really fun, getting to like spice it up, getting to be Phoebe one night and Rachel the next night and Monica the next night. So that's kind of my thing is not getting bored doing the same thing. Because even when like if I did fantasy for a week straight, by the end I'd be like, uh-oh, I am a little bored because I have done the same thing every night. And even though it's like the best job ever, and that's how I'd feel if I did Phoebe for a week straight. I'd be like, okay, time to switch it up just a little bit, which is, I just feel really lucky that I get to do. So
definitely?
yeah.
Have you been in another show apart from fantasy where you're like the main singer or the
Yeah, I
spot?
like cruise ship shows. I'm trying to think. I did mostly musical theater before I came to Vegas. So, and when I moved to Vegas, I did 50 Shades, the musical. So that was musical theater, obviously. Yeah, I think just cruise ship shows, but it's like a format that you're familiar with. I'd never been able to be a host and like just say whatever I wanted, which fantasy was nice for, getting to like just sit on a guy's head if you wanted to. My butt is on your head. But yeah, that was the first time for that, I think.
What did you think of that? Like you having to do that when you like
I
were
didn't have to do
started
that.
fantasy?
Oh no, I didn't have to do that. I did that for fun. Like you were allowed to do none of it was scripted. They would say like get on stage, you talk about whatever you want. Just make sure you tell them like no photography and what's coming up next. That was like all you had. You got to do basically. I mean, go up there and be like, talk about your childhood, but like you could do basically whatever you wanted.
Wow,
So
so you
Lorena
got
and I both just did that.
improv.
Yeah,
Oh shoot.
it was fun.
But you did a good job.
Wow,
You did a good job on improvising.
thank you. Yeah, it
Definitely.
was fun.
Um, do you wish or do you hope to be in a show in the future where you can be like the main host and um
Um, it's not like there's nothing on my plate that I'm like, this is as far as performing goes, there's nothing on my plate that I'm like, this is my goal and I hope this happens because I really do like how your life like changes up and how you get to like you're randomly just doing one thing and doing one thing and doing one thing. And I really like Friends and I like how I get to move around there. So that is what I'm most looking forward to going back to. Um, it's a lot of work to do what Lorena does, to be on all the time, especially when you get a dead audience and you're like, whoa.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, it's fun and there's just good things about every job. So I hope to do all sorts of shows,
yeah.
all
That
the
was
shows.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. And I'm thinking right now it's pretty crazy how you said you used to like watch Friends when you were growing up, and now you're into show Friends.
I know it's weird. It's very weird. And it was like when I auditioned, they were like, "Well, who are you?" And I was like, "Well, I am Phoebe. Like, I am Phoebe. Me as a person is Phoebe, but on stage, I don't know." And so now it's so cool getting to do all of them. But yeah, not having cable really helps you study for Friends. I could probably do Friends or Boy Meets World, the musical, like now. So I
Yeah.
know those couple shows really well.
Yeah. Do you watch TV shows now? Do you have like cable and you sit
Oh my
down?
God, we have everything for no reason because my husband's obsessed with sports, so we have normal cable. And then I share the rest with like my family, but like we have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon. I know that's not it. We have so many stupid TV shows. We watch so much TV. We love binging TV, especially in the quarantine. Oh my God, we just like have been binging, binging, binging. But like we'll cook breakfast, bring breakfast in the living room, watch a TV show. Like we just like, and we like talking about like where we think the TV show will go and like what, guessing our own spoilers. But yeah, it is. I'm watching a lot of TV.
Watching a lot
Just
of TV.
finished Upload.
Yeah. Um, when we finally got cable in my house, I was like so excited. And then like a month later, I'm like, eh. I don't know what's the big deal about cable.
I just have been watching the news lately, which my husband's like, he's not a news person, so he's like, can we turn it off? But like, I just sit around. I wake up every morning and I'm like, oh my God, it's like the world is exploding in a new way every day, and I just wake up and I'm just like, oh my God, more news, more news, more news.
Definitely. Are
Yeah,
you into politics a lot or
yeah, yeah.
yeah?
I'm a I'm a
Good.
Bernie Sanders. I'm a Bernie Sanders girl.
Me too. I was rooting for him and I can't believe that he dropped out.
Yeah, one of my friends just like woke up to politics with the recent happenings, and he was like, I was talking to my friend in Europe, and we were talking about politics all day, and I was learning so much. And I think the answer is Bernie Sanders. And I was like, well, I don't want to break your heart, but it's not looking that good for Bernie. I because he doesn't follow the news at all. I'm like, I'm great that you've come around to him. It's over. Yeah, he's my boyfriend. I mean, I'm gonna vote for Biden no matter what, but well, unless a miracle happens and Bernie pulls, that won't
Right?
happen.
That
But
would
yeah, Bernie was my boyfriend. I love him. I have a Bernie Sanders cactus.
really.
He's this little cactus and he's got white swirly hair. And I water him. I think I overwatered him. I think I overloved him and now he might be dying because of me.
Oh
But yeah,
no.
I know. I've been planting and I'm like a terrible plant mom. Like I'm very bad at it.
Oh
It's just
no.
hot out. It's just hot out. Everything's dying. And I found out watering during the day is bad because it kind of boils their roots when it's this hot, which I did not know. So he's having a tough life right now, but I'm airing him out inside the house. So
Good, good.
one
I
time.
didn't say that now that you mentioned that. I bought a money tree. I think that's what it's called. Money tree, right?
Yeah, they're like, good luck.
Yeah. And so I bought one a long time ago, and I'm over here watering it like every day, and then it died.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I'm like, crap. Like now I'm be like poor and with no money for the rest of my life because I heard that's bad luck, right? Or I
I
mean,
I don't know exactly the rules. Yeah, I mean it's probably just superstition, so you're probably okay, but it is weird that plants are so hard to keep alive. Like now I see plants in real life and I'm like, how are you alive? Because I've been trying so hard to keep like this basil plant alive and this cilantro. It's hella dead. Very dead. Very dead. And I've been trying so hard. But like plants in the world just grow. Doesn't make any sense.
especially here in Vegas, it's like so hard to grow anything.
Yeah. I think I'm going to turn it into like a cactus area because I think only cactuses can live and only if I leave them alone. So,
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. We in our backyard, my mom, I don't know if you know that like us Mexicans we eat like this cactus I don't know if you've seen it like in the stores. It's like
no, I've seen a friend get cactus tacos at like a Mexican place because she's vegan.
yeah, so
Is that what you're talking about?
we yeah, that's probably it. because I think there's only one cactus that you can eat, which is probably that. And we have
Yeah, I
like
mean, they seem
50
very hard to eat.
plants in the backyard of cactus.
Nice.
Yeah, it's driving me crazy because every time like they give out cactus and you have to cut them, they give out like 10 leaves per cactus, and it's like so hard to eat cactus
Hmm.
every day.
Yeah, that's a lot. I didn't like it
Yeah.
when I had some of hers, but like she's vegan, so there was nothing fun on it.
Oh, I
But
know.
yeah.
Vegan, no fun.
No.
Yeah, and what kind of shows are like left for you to do that you want to go into, like say like a comedy show or
Oh, I don't want to do that. That sounds like people tell me to do like some sort of stand-up comedy all the time, and I just think that sounds so hard, and the payoff sounds so low. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Friends coming back. I like doing that, and I want to work on more of my own shows. I want to write more. Um, I don't know. It's been really interesting on the quarantine. I haven't had any desire to like go out and sing. I haven't missed singing. I haven't missed. So a lot of it must be the communal experience that I just like being with people to do shows. So
definitely.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
You never thought about like recording an album? Because you seem really good.
Thanks.
So
I mean, maybe someday if that's like what I end up doing, but
is that
no,
like
it's not.
one of your plans?
No, it's never like I wouldn't even be able to think of like what I would want to put on. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed, but I don't. I haven't thought about it on my own. Maybe
What would you put in your album if you did an album?
like my duet partners, or who would I sing?
Like what would you sing? Like what kind of genre? Like
That's
yeah.
just it. The stuff I like to sing is that Ben Foldsy type stuff. I like to sing like kind of Sarah Bareilles type stuff, like it'd be like coffee house music. Um,
What about
Cameron
rap?
Dan Locust rap.
I'm
I'm a
kidding.
good rapper.
Just
I'm a
kidding.
good rapper. I'm literally good at rap. Um, I,
Hip hop.
it's not like pleasant to listen to, but I'm very proficient at it. That's what I felt like at the protest. I was like, I can't chant because I just sound so obnoxious and like, "Na, na, na, na." That's how I am when I rap too. I'm like, "Zow, zow, zow." But yeah, I do Hamilton all the time. Yeah, I mean, it would be a mix of like show tunes and like Sarah Bareilles-y type songs. But yeah, I've never thought about doing something like that. It does not cross my mind. Or I would do, my dad's a saxophone player, so I would do like a duet with him, like a Christmas song or something. We've talked about that a couple times.
Oh, awesome.
So who knows though? We'll see.
What kind of apart from like your music that you mentioned right now, what kind of music do you listen to? You listen to EDM or uh
Mm-mm, no, I don't listen to music. I listen to Howard Stern and the
just
news.
that's
Yeah,
it?
like I just listen to music when I have to learn it. So I associate music with like, okay, I have to memorize this. How do I memorize this? Okay, this is what I have to learn. And so like I don't listen to it in the same fun way. I don't know why, but I've been like that since a kid. Like I like talk radio. I like listening.
Oh,
So I'm like the nerd. I'm just telling you all the ways I'm not fun. Like I don't go out. Not really a music person.
okay. Just for the people that right now we only have one viewer, I guess.
Is it me?
Is it you? Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if
it
I
could be
count.
you and me. But hopefully, people later on watch this. Can you
Okay.
sing for us so people can hear you and you know?
Oh
Um,
God, what would I sing? What have I been singing? Oh, I've been singing Matchbox 20 for some reason today. Um, if you're gone home, baby, you need to come home. There's an awful lot of breathing room, but I can hardly move. That's been stuck in my head today.
wow, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, bird!
Can you keep going? I'm just saying.
You're like, do you not know the verses? Oh my God, that was funny at the protest too. They kept singing Lean on Me. And everybody knows the chorus, but then we'd get to the verse, and there was one dude that knew the verses, and he was just like, "Trouble your tears." Like, so we'd be like, "Oh yeah, like good." So we'd all like watch him on the verse, and they'd go, "Lean on me," and then we'd stop again, and we'd be like, "Just keep going," and he'd be like, "Another your pride." Like he knew whatever. That's
Uh,
funny.
that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yep.
And do you want to be like an actress in the future where like somebody gives you like a role in a movie? Would you like look into that?
No, it's also not like what I really love is the live audience. What I love is like hearing people laugh at me. So I think I need validation. I need people to be like, that was good. So, and I think that's part of why I don't sing like on Facebook or like, like at home by myself because I just like I like the trying to get a laugh. I like the interaction with the audience. So um a movie I think would be I mean I would do anything and I like doing anything, but it's not something that's like, oh, I want to do that because for me I'm like, oh, but I love the live, like the energy of a live show is really cool.
It's really
So
cool.
that's where I'm at.
How did
Who's a
you feel
grown
like the first time that you were on stage? Your very
Oh,
first
I
time.
was like a kid. Like my first, so like I went to this theater camp and I was like a puppet in Pinocchio. And then the next month they were doing Snow White and they asked me if I would be Snow White. And I was like, what? And I just was like, my life was changed. I was like, this is unbelievable. Like all the 7-year-olds want to be my friends, even though like I'm 10 and I get to like wear this cool costume and like they dyed my hair black and I was like, this is amazing. Like I loved theater so much. I did it for free. Like I drove around all of Ohio to do it for free, which now I'm like, why did you do that? You are a terrible businesswoman. But like it was just it was all I cared about.
That's all you cared about. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome that you got to do it,
Yeah,
and
I'm lucky.
your parents, supported you.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of parents out there that don't support their
Oh,
kids.
absolutely. It's heartbreaking to hear those stories of like, oh, I have a lot of friends and say like, oh, I wanted to go into theater. And I'm like, ah. But it is so hard. So many people drop out and there's times I've wanted to drop out. And luckily I'm not trained in anything else. So I couldn't. So you just got to stick with it.
You just gotta stick with it. Yep, that's true.
It's
That
all
is
of life.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, and it was pretty fun talking to you, and you made me laugh a lot.
Thanks. You too. You have a good rest of your quarantine. Send me those Yolanda things because I'm like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little shook
definitely.
up about that. So
Right? Thank you so much, and
thank
yeah,
you.
I'll see you when friends come back. I'll go visit you. I'll go.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so
Bye. Have
much.
a good night.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good night. All right, guys. Thank you so
Sweetie.
much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Celebrity 702 online, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I hope to see you there, and take care and stay safe.